Magic Part 23.
Right, so at this juncture we'll have an overview. So one thinks that one can do all these psychic and occult procedures, not realizing that the Jews and the Western occultists have built their Kabbalah building with its underground part, and you of course are trapped in there, descending throughout your life from birth down into the seventh hells to be processed by Thormiel down the bottom. So if you're a Russian or a Chinese psychic warfare officer, remember the Chinese collected all their young psychics, tested them and trained them up. This building is not you're basically here outside, but when you want to do things to the west, you have to enter the building. So when you remotely view Western targets, you get pulled energetically into the building. Then all the rules of the cabalistic magical world then apply to you. Similarly, it gets worse. We've got all the Easterners who are doing their chakras. So you start off with a energy body like that, and it's got a gap in the midsection, and the parasite comes along. The parasite looks like a larvae, so there it is. There we are. Like that, and it has the barbs. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which are your chakras, and it eats the outer coating of your energy body. It consumes you like you consume an apple, leaving the core. There we are. So you have a bit round the bottom, and the rest there we are, is the parasite. So you're a walking parasite. That is the whole chakra system. Now of course the drones don't bother with their chakra system, so their awareness, you can think of your awareness being in your center, your hara, as your awareness. So Angelic Annie and others spend months focusing their awareness on this chakra to raise their kundalini, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, then the sixth, then the seventh, which is up the top of the head. And that means that their awareness then gets consumed fully by the parasite. They have no awareness any longer. Their awareness then is the parasite, which Don Juan calls the foreign installation. Their awareness is what the parasite designed, which is a torture shell. Every thought, their entire awareness is artificial, made by the parasite. So then they get into a nice shell awareness, fully shelled, which allows full transition of the awareness once it's shelled. There we go, to descend. And of course you can't then move through the timelines, because what moves through timelines? Does the vehicle? No. The soul is just a vehicle, the body is just a vehicle. What moves through timelines is the awareness. So you become then edits, which we talked about, an eternally damned, imbecilic torture shell, which all of you become when you go through in any chakra meditation. If you've ever done a chakra meditation, you're doomed. That's the end of you. Your awareness has been consumed, and an artificial awareness has been made, the edits, which then is tortured. This then, the tortured you, which impacts on the quantum vacuum, or as we call it, dark sea of awareness in shamanism, becomes a mechanism for getting energy from the quantum vacuum for these parasites. So you're just farm animals. You are the lowest of the low, and however bad you think things are is nowhere near as bad as it actually is. So your worst nightmare is nowhere near what the human condition is. And of course we don't get people popping back from the dead, fully manifest, in a body of light, walking around on network television saying, I've come back from the dead, I'm here, we continue life after death, because they've all been consumed by the parasite which feeds off the human. Humans are just farmyard animals. Don Juan calls them chickens. Therefore, one can see that when you raise your kundalini, you're mixing it, your sexual energy, which is the energy of you, with your awareness to vivify the parasite that's in you. And then when you're a magician, you bring it down again. Bring it down again. So all magicians, of their own free will, descend into the cabalistic Gehenna, hell. And the mystics keep it up here, which of course, that is the awareness of the parasite. So the more they meditate, the more they become the parasite. Isn't it a wonderful system? And no one's ever told you this, because I'm the only ipsissimus on the planet, the only ascended being, and all of you are damned. I find it amusing, highly amusing. So all of the chakra people, that's the Easterners in their ashrams, and all the light workers, are all finished. Now, for the Russian and Chinese psychic warfare operators, who don't do their chakra stuff, don't do their cabalistic magic, and the Freemasonic temples all across the West are this building. The obelisks are this building. The fountains are this building. The sacrificial altars within the pillars are this building. Every church, this building. Every temple for the rabbis, this building. All generating a gigantic cabalistic prison across the West. Now, of course, the Chinese have found, to their horror, that everything's falling apart in Hong Kong. Why? Because the British built this cabalistic system all across Hong Kong, with their Freemasonic temples, their monuments, energized the ley line system. And now, of course, we've got all the Hong Kong population being driven mad by Western magicians, all of whom work for the NSA or MI6. If you look, you know, the OTO in America, they write all their books of magic, they all work for the deep state. And the magicians over here work for the deep state. MI5 came up to Celestial Paladin, wanted to employ him.
They did.
Gave him contact number, etc. So anyone who's into magic gets employed by the deep state. And of course the Chinese really have a huge problem here, because this entire building needs to be demolished in Hong Kong. So let's say the Chinese demolish that in Hong Kong, they ban all chakra usage by their people. They've then got another problem, because C space and H space, where you want to do psychic warfare, has the biggest structure right in the middle of the room, the elephant in the middle of the room, built by the alien parasites, which isn't Kabbalah, which isn't the chakra system. An emergency, control everything, control the earth, control everything on it, control the earth energies, lock it all in. Does anyone know what that might be? No? Oh, let's show you the deputy head of the OTO, his book on this absolute supermax prison that the aliens have built for you. Apart from that, so however bad you think it is, it's nowhere near as bad as it is, and you people are completely fucked. Just shoot yourself and wake up in torture hell forever. That's your only fate, unless of course someone like me saves you. But black magicians aren't noted for saving people. Let's find it. We'll dig away here in my owl trolley. Owls are the symbol of Lilith. And we know the personification of Lilith bouncing around is Taylor Swift, who's just been screwed by the Jews, losing her entire record collection. We'll be talking about that as well. Here we are. Here is the nightmare that the Russians and Chinese and Iranians and North Koreans and the rest would never even have known about. This is the realm of the 007, my realm, and it's called Enochian magic. Having mastered the arts and science of his age, Elizabethan magist Dr. John Dee, 1527 to 1608, resolved that worldly knowledge could no longer provide him with the wisdom he desired. He turned his attention to magic, and in 1582 he and his clairvoyant partner Edward Kelly made contact with a number of spiritual entities who identified themselves as angels. Of course they're angels, because they say they're angels. I'm a multi-millionaire hedge fund manager, and I want you to invest in my fund, please. My name's Bernie Sanders. Please trust me. Same thing, the long con. The same angels that communicated with Adam, Enoch, and the patriarchs of the Old Testament. Enochian magic stands for, remember we talked about in the last year, the Metatronic state, yeah, with the assemblage point in the centre. That is the magic of the Metatronic state. Enoch, who ascended into heaven on his chariot of fire and became Metatron, the chief archangel. See? Chief parasite. He ascended up to heaven and became the parasite. The human powering the parasite. Over the next 3 years, 3 distinct magical systems were revealed to Dee and Kelly. The third, thanks largely to efforts from the adepts of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and the 20th century practices of Aleister Crowley, is now widely known as Enochian magic. So this is the monster in the middle of the room, which the Chinese, Russians, North Koreans, Iranians and the rest don't even know about. But me being the 007, I have total command of. And is my purview. Now if you come to one of my $25,000 workshops and are accepted, then we go through Enochian magic, because there's no chance of these white magicians even knowing the rudiments of Enochian magic, because it is horrendously complex, but for an 007 like myself, simple. But think of Enochian magic as controlling all the earth energies of the planet. And if you control all the earth energies of the planet, you can then block anything the humans do. So the Enochian magic was the blueprint for the total prison for the chickens generated by all the earth energies around the planet. So the Chinese have a monstrous problem, because Hong Kong has had the diabolical British, the filth that is the British, MI6 magician in the past, going to Freemasonic temples in Hong Kong, under British rule, and building the Enochian magical system with Kabbalah, with the chakra stuff, in all of the Freemasonic temples, monuments, and British built buildings by the Freemasons in Hong Kong. And as you can see, it's driven mad 2 million people in Hong Kong, causing a giant wound in the psyche of China, with the Hong Kong fifth columnists, controlled by the Parasite, desperate to split from China and then sow the seeds of breakup in China. And the Chinese, with their psychic warfare program, which is very advanced, all scientific, don't realize that these alien parasites have built this entire prison system to block and lock out psychic warfare. So you might wonder, why is the world's leading expert on psychic warfare the ultimate master of occult warfare? Because you've got to erase history, go back to year zero, reboot, then psychic warfare works. But without it, you never get anywhere. So Enochian magic has within it 49 keys. Ooh, 49 keys. Oh my goodness. Remember I said I'm the 007 and I have the keys, which means I can block everyone else out from the earth energy and I have total control over the planet. The keys come down to from Dr. D to the next 007, and Colin Bloy had them. He didn't know how to use them, but that was part of his training. And then of course I was his successor. The British filth wouldn't pay me, said they'd put me in a mental hospital and I'd work for them when I came out. So now I just fuck them full time. If it's British, I fuck it, not in a nice way, up the backside. Ooh, no Vaseline. Take that, you British scum. So one can see that yours truly is built on a path of total vengeance to destroy the entire system. So I have control over Enochian magic because I have the 49 keys, which lock you vermin out of doing anything, because the planetary energy compared to a human, you're irrelevant. So if the Chinese pay me, I'll unlock and destroy the entire British built occult system in Hong Kong, freeing China from the filth that is the British. As I say, I'm simply a mercenary. I'm just explaining my importance. I'm the most important being on the planet. Similarly for the Russians, they need to have me destroy this entire structure with respect to them, so their people can control every Western decision maker. If they pay me, if not, go as before. Because remember, when I do things, it's for myself, with respect to me. So this system is all gone for me. But for you lot, it's there, imprisoning you. That's why Angelic Annie, who spent years, 10 years on her chakras, a light worker, saving the world, or longer, saving the world, is fully now a parasite. She's gone. And she can attest to you the horrific life she's had. We won't go into it. True though, isn't it? And of course we've got Dunk, who's been going around doing all his earth energy stuff, fully getting into the Enochian, fully getting the 49 keys locking him up in his torture coffin. And of course locked in the cabalistic building, because he's been going around the monuments and all that cabalistic
Always
stuff.
working with the Elohim.
Exactly. He was the Elohim's avatar,
Yeah.
saving the world. So as you can see, however bad the human vermin think their condition is, it's nowhere near the horror that it is. Trapped forever in being just chickens fed off by alien parasites. So as you can see, it's wonderful to be completely free, because for me, that's all demolished, all gone, all gone. Why? Well, if you look at, as we explained, Feigenbaum period doubling, yeah. There we are. And then we have the strange attractor here, and then we have the 666 hell state where you vermin are in. For me, I'm the one state, joining the Grail state, joining the male and female together, as I explained, which allows me to be an Ipsissimus, ascended master, all that business. The 2 state is simply my vampires, but their awarenesses, because remember, I'm just using them, their vehicles. Their awarenesses, though, aren't part of the bargain, so their awarenesses are still in the process. It's just their bodies are simply my vehicles. You've seen, you must have seen Supernatural. Pull out, walk in, they're my vampires. Where's their awareness go? Into the hell state to get more yield. See, unless you pay me to rescue your awareness, so your awareness doesn't wake up in the hell state, which is more ka-ching. Remember, I'm a black magician, not a white magician. I can save the world, but you've got to pay me, because I have no empathy or affiliation with saving the world, becoming a Jesus or a Buddha. I don't fancy crucifixion or being poisoned to death. The British have been trying hundreds of poisonings with their flesh-eating bacteria, all the microwaving. Doesn't work. So one can see the situation's far more complex, and as a psychic warfare supremo, one has to erase all of this crap. So when you come to my $25,000 007, if you're accepted, or you can pay me $1 million for a one-on-one course, I don't mind, whatever. Then we go through Earth Energies, Grail State 007, because I'm the 007. In the normal courses, you then simply do group workshop applications of the films. No more. That's all you get. Or you can do a Gwyneth Paltrow workshop. Let's see what you get for £4,500 from Gwyneth Paltrow. Let's go to my wonderful copy of The Sun. So all of you chakra lovers can go to a Gwyneth Paltrow £4,500 workshop. That's it. Your wacky wellness weekender. What I learned at Goop camp. So Tracy Anderson's workout can make you sick. A golden facial involves a House of Horror mask. Never mainline bananas, eat collie popcorn instead. Even the goopy lubricants is organic in the Goopyverse. You don't need a fire to have a fireside chat with Penelope. Goopery usually do have a stance on baths. I do not. So let's read what you'll be getting for £4,500, because if this is what Gwyneth charges for £4,500, I think $2,000 for a workshop is totally underpriced, and the prices will have to go up. So if you don't buy now and come to a course of $2,000, don't whine when the price goes up to $10,000 for a meeting with Celestial Paladin and Angelic Annie. So let's read through. I am standing inches away from Gwyneth Paltrow and I'm about to vomit on her. So we can promise you won't be puked on. If you're puked on by Angelic Annie or Celestial Paladin, you get your money back. That's a guarantee. My heart is racing, my eyesight is blurred, and every inch of my body is covered in sweat. No, we don't like sweaty people either. The urgent need to throw up is not because I am overcome with emotion at meeting the Oscar winner. I am one of the VIP wellness weekenders who have each parted with £4,500, that's pounds sterling for you Americans, to join Gwyneth at Goop's first UK summit. So that's what, 1.25 exchange rate at the moment or something? And part of that exclusive package is to have a personal training session with a superstar and a 44-year-old pocket rocket, Tracy Anderson. Wow. The 4'11" personal trainer and Paltrow's business partner is Hollywood's favourite sadist, shedding every teeny bit of fat from Madonna, Kim Kardashian and J-Lo. I, of course, drink loads and loads of beer, 6-pack a night, and of course, ta-da, that's from my drink beer program. Drink as much beer as possible. Ta-da! Remember, with C space and H space, you can simply modify your body to get the body you want, eating what you want, doing what you want, which is called the losing the human form service, talked about by Don Juan in the Castellida books. So if you want to lose the human form and be able to do fuck all and be super slim, then get that service before it goes up in price. Continuing. And she is the reason I now have to run to the loo to dry heave. Definitely get your money back if dry heaving. Sounds disgusting. After more than an hour working out with superhuman Anderson, how could she be superhuman when she's 4'11" and I could push her over with my finger? But never mind. Gwyneth is at the front of the studio and barely breaking a sweat. She says, after months training with Tracy, I walked past the mirror naked one time and thought, damn, whose butt is that? Then I realised it was mine, after massive plastic surgery, butt lift and all the rest. But my butt is not great at the moment. I was just in Italy and I totally pigged out on pasta. But her butt is great, as is the rest of her. Gwyneth, 46, is so glossy it looks like every inch of her has been jet washed. She just looks like an old cunt to me, but that's just me. I like young women. Continuing. Which is the exact reason why hundreds of women from around the world have flocked to the Ree Centre in Hammersmith, West London, to learn how to think and live like her. The event is a sellout. The 250-day tickets were £1,000 each, and 35 weekend stays, which include 2 nights in a 5-star hotel, plus the personal training class, cost £4,500. Ta-da! Banana bread tastes like licking an ashtray. The UK is now the 3rd largest market for in-Goop health behind the US and Canada. The brand, which claims to be devoted to wellness of the mind and body, is expected to reach profits of 632 billion it says here billion, by 2021. But the brand has not been without controversy. Last year, Goop was fined $112,000 for making unsubstantiated claims about the benefits of a jade vagina egg.
And we about that in one of the videos.
Yeah, we can guarantee that no jade vagina egg will be shoved up your vaginas. That hasn't stopped Gwyneth, or GP as she's known to her fans, recommending other things to insert into your privates, as I discovered when I first walked into the venue for my first day of Goop Health. So why are we reading through this? We're just saying this is more of this wacky shit, and people are prepared to pay $4.5 grand for, well, continue. After being handed a shot of apple and ginger juice, I'm faced with a Goop store, a little land of cosmetics, books and sex toys. So we won't be offering you cosmetics, books or sex toys. There's a variety of lubricants, no lubricants, all organic of course, no organic lubricants on offer, and sex toys, none, no sex toys because I'm a prude, with names like the Frenchman and the Millionaire. What about a French millionaire? Salma Hayek's got a French billionaire, so she must have a big sex toy. The tennis coach, which claims to be a powerful G-spot vibrator, crafted for a precise aim, was left in the gift bag in my bedroom in the Kimpton Hotel for my arrival, along with a note. Use this gift to wind down should the mood strike. So when you go to an Angelic Annie and Celestial Paladin workshop, which starts 2,000 but probably will be 10,000 soon, you won't get a sex toy. Game, set and match to Gwynny for that. She liked her sex toys. We are soon offered breakfast from a buffet with Chinese cabbage, tostados and coconut bacon. Sorry, I just eat normal bacon, which does not include any bacon. I tried the slice of banana bread before reading the small print that states it is made with a G and ground coffee. G's Indian cheese. It tastes like licking an ashtray, so I dispose of it and head to my first lesson, how to breathe. How to breathe. I need to learn how to breathe, do I? You're supposed to breathe through your Harawito. That's $4.5 grand already, please. Stuart Sandman says we can all connect to a higher state of consciousness. You can be sure they'll be doing their chakra stuff. The group of well-groomed women aged 30 to 50 throw their arms in the air, and Sandman tells us to ask our breath what would best support the planet. Breath, what would best support the planet? You stupid women getting a braid, I think. He gets us to stick our tongues out and pant like a dog. Which is not too difficult, considering the venue has no air conditioning. That comes extra. I'm just explaining the whole parasite thing. This is pure parasite. So we're going into chakras in a minute. So we're going through this to explain all these meditation workshops based on this parasite. This is pure parasite. The windows do not open properly and it is the hottest day of the year. To get us all talking to each other, there are bowls of cards around the venue which carry new age questions such as, what does spirulina smell like? What's the last thing you spiralized? And name as many adaptogens as you can. They're foods that help your immune system. I pick one and read the card to the woman next to me. What is your stance on baths? Without flinching, she says. At one retreat I went to in Turkey, I didn't bathe or speak for 10 days. So for normal people who haven't had their chakras raised, because all these women have had their chakras raised, they're all simply rebuilt awareness by the parasite. So this to them is brilliant, but to you drones in the street who've never raised your chakras, you think they're all barking mad and being fleeced. with Gwyneth's, Goop's people's hand in their money box. So we're going through this just to explain what happens to you once you go to a chakra meditation course. You become total servitor of the parasite. Remember, I was creating servitors. The parasite does that to you by chakra meditation.
And Kundalini yoga.
And Kundalini yoga, exactly. It resets your jaw and voice box, and it made me connect to nature. Now, sorry, I don't bathe and it does that. No. You can see why I'm going through this, to just show you the servitor that's created by the parasite from your awareness to be tortured eternally, and what that awareness is described fully by Britain's leading paper. I like it anyway, The Sun. She adds, it's not the most extreme retreat I've been to though. In Thailand, I was given a pill to extract all the waste from my body. Lots of phlegm poured out of me. So it's becoming pretty clear what the parasite does to you once you do chakra training. So please, please people, do as much chakra training as possible, so you have to pay me 10 grand to undo the problem, or get tortured eternally. But it helped me with my leaky gut too. I know women leak, but she's got even leakier. That's why I have the tenor pants, isn't it? Feeling that bite of ashtray cake turning in my stomach, I sit down to watch GP's fireside chat. Goop lingo for talk with psychotherapist Barry Michaels. He's been fully Amalekized, being a Jew, so of course he'll pass on the poison to you. His creative thoughts include the ultimate creative act is creating a new version of yourself. Yes, new version of yourself. And the tongue holds all the memories of everything we have ever said. Sorry, no. I think that's for a scientist in the brain, and for an occultist scientist, psychic warfare expert like myself, in the brain and the energy field. Because remember, the brain, cut it in half, still communicates. Proven. They did that because of my research on linking up with AIs and ADA, which you can listen to on Rentz's archive. He then plugs his book, which is being sold in the Goop shop. Study, study, to become a shelled awareness. And edits. So you see when I talk about edits, eternally damned, imbecilic torture shells. A Goop customer. And please, Gwyneth, sue me. Sue me for defamation. I want to go to court. I'd love that. Come on, Gwyneth, go for it. My next class is on how to wash my face. My mummy taught me that. Or in Goop speak, a skincare masterclass. I can see Angelic Annie is just frothing at the mouth that she hasn't been to one of these wonderful workshops, because she's been fully processed. GP's facialist. Do I need a facialist at my workshops? No. Anastasia Ikilios, AA, talks about eye cream with the same intensity as a doctor revealing terminal test results. Sorry, are you beginning to understand what this parasite thing does to you?
Yeah.
For all of us normal people, these are but stupid. Totally demented. They're not. They've been fully processed, because all of them, I guarantee all of these customers have been working on their chakras. I guarantee it. She orders us to smother our faces in Goop exfoliating instant facial cream before delivering the disclaimer that will probably make our skin go red. At £112 for a 50ml pot, it's got to do something. I didn't pay £112 for my little money pot. The VIPs have a session with nutritionist Stephanie Moores, author of Why Eating Less and Exercising More Makes You Fat. Sorry, pardon? As a scientist I go, what? Less calorie intake and burning more calories makes you fat. Duh. Sorry, pardon? No, wrong.
Sounds mad.
It is. No, I'm just explaining. You see, now I'm reading through this. Because before you think, this guy's mad. He's talking out the backside of his arse. No. I'm explaining. It's right in your face. You can read it in the Sun. It's also in the Mail. I never, ever, ever eat a whole entire apple because they are full of sugar, Stephanie warns. I see people maintaining bananas and I think, mainlining, sorry. What are you doing? If you're going to eat fruit, make sure you combine it with organic sheep's yogurt to help your gut. And remember, they don't like purifying the milk, so you'll probably get what the woman had, leaky gut. That explains her leaky gut from all the non-pasteurized dairy products. Makeup free, slightly florid, and imagining what mainlining bananas would look like, I go upstairs to have some damp gold plasters stuck under my eyes by surgeon Dr. Mariam Zamani. She explains they rehydrate me and cost £65 for a pack of 5. Ka-ching! Dr. Samani then offers me 10 minutes of light therapy golden facial treatment, which involves a House of Horrors mask that lights up to make me look younger. There we are. And remember, when we did magic, putting on masks, which was fronted by Austin Osman Spare, to link up with your bestial side, and the masks in Eyes Wide Shut. So this mask makes you into whatever the mask has been programmed to do. It's a magical ritual.
Funny looking mask.
Yeah, it's a magical ritual. Now, would you say that person looks pretty?
No.
Or intelligent?
No.
Fat?
Yes.
Yes. Stupid?
Yes.
So one can say this, when I did about masks and using masks for magic, which is all in the Kenneth Grant books, here is deeply embodied in Goop. To change you using the mask to involve your awareness into changing you to an edit. That is the mask of an edit. An eternally damned, imbecilic torture shell. You can even see the reddish light. And continuing, hearty vegan lunch of cauliflower popcorn. I bet you wish I had some cauliflower popcorn. Dr. Samani then offers me 10 minutes of light therapy with a horror mask. Alas, it does not, so feeling more than slightly clammy, I join my other VPs to tuck into a hearty vegan lunch of cauliflower popcorn. So it didn't make her look younger, according to the reporter. Korean lettuce wraps and sharp grilled broccoli. Jenny 41 from the Cotswolds. Blah blah blah. Follower of Goop for nearly 10 years. For me, GP has normalised things. I was already into yoga and crystals. Now people don't think I'm a crazy hippie. They understand because she's talking about it. Because Gwyneth says it's true. Must be true. She's got a PhD in being a eternally damned imbecilic torture shell. She's probably the front runner of eternally damned imbecilic torture shells. So, 2 other VIPs, a skincare expert from Hong Kong and a US doctor, nod in agreement. They have flown in for experience and live by Goop's guidance. It is time for another GP chat, this time with model Twiggy. Oh, we're seeing Twiggy. For the first time, Gwyneth seems relaxed and funny, and I realise why everyone has such a girlish crush on her. When Twiggy 69 tells an anecdote about how a journalist once described her as looking like the chewed up chicken legs posted through a letterbox, GP shouts, "What? A cunt. My God, what a complete dick." She flashes a cheeky smile to the audience, and I feel a bit guilty for rolling my eyes at her lifestyle. Fellow Hollywood A-lister Penelope Cruz, 45, joins GP to talk about the menopause and periods. So I guarantee when you come to one of their workshops, we won't be talking about menopauses and periods, because menopauses and periods don't interest me. As well as being gluten-free. No, if it's got gluten, I like it. Dairy-free. No, I like dairy. And sugar. Yeah, sugar's okay. I don't have that much of it. And alcohol-free. No, I have loads of alcohol. If it's beer. Later, the crowd, mostly dressed in Goop vest tops and leggings given on arrival, flock to collect Goop goodie bags that include herbal tea, mindfulness cards, and a reusable menstrual cup. So how do I feel about, yes, you collect your menstrual fluid and then drink it.
Who could do that?
Yeah, because according to the Kenneth Grant books, the OTO people, collecting menstrual fluids, the distillation of the Scarlet Woman, and it gives you magical powers. It's all in the Kenneth Grant books. The OTO, these black magicians, are all into that big time, and drinking urine and all that other stuff. So how do I feel after 48 hours in Gwyneth's very intense world? Completely and utterly gooped. Eternally damned imbecilic torture shells. So we look in the mail. Why I went through that is just to completely, on video, explain the whole process of the parasite turning you into a awareness shell. Dairy-free vegan, choc ices, coconut bacon, £230 face serum, sex toys galore. Jan Muir revels in a day in Goopland and gets up close and personal, almost with its high priestess, Paltrow. So that was another one in the mail. I'm not going to read through that. I think the Sun's done a wonderful job there. So we will then, in the Enochian magic, show you how to unlock yourself from the cabalistic world, the chakra world. Go through the rudimentals, but if you want it done, that's $10,000. And of course, learning Enochian magic, and me personally using the 49 keys to free you from the hell of Enochian magic, which means all your magic never works, because compared to the planet, you're irrelevant. So why can I move timelines and the whole world changes and you all vanish and become new yous? As we saw with Katy Perry, she's gone from looking super hot on 365 to super not hot in her piece with Calm Down as the burger with Taylor. And Taylor has gone from being big and bulky and horsey faced and bulky hipped and fatty thighed to being now supermodel like, because Taylor's been following me through the timelines and being changed accordingly. So as one can see from the overview, learning all this stuff has massive implications for your life. And going through the Goop madness was just to explain to you how you're converted by chakra work into an imbecile who's then has to buy Goop products which the papers think are crap and have written at length about being crap, and she's been fined for selling crap.